Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and I gotta ask this question every single day. And the question is, Tommy, whenever it comes to stock investing, what exactly am I looking for to know if a company is good or if a company is bad and I want to avoid it? So this video right here, guys, I'm going to break down 7 things you need to know whenever it comes to stock investing for beginners, and that way you know all the basics and you're actually ahead of the game and know exactly what to look for and what to analyze. So when you're actually investing into a company, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. And by the way, guys, I also upload videos on this channel every single day, so make sure to also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And on top of that, also destroy the like button. Now, before we get into the 7 things you need to know, I need to tell you these 3 things to make sure everyone here is on the same page. Number 1, if you are completely beginning into stocks and you don't know anything about it, the basic idea is all you're doing is buying a small piece of a company. Whenever you use, for example, Robinhood, Webull, SoFi Invest, Acorn, Stash App, whatever you use, at the end of the day, there are all brokerages, and at the end of the day, what you want to do is avoid paying a lot of money for them. But that's the basic idea. You're just buying a piece of a company. That is it. However, in this video right here, number 2, we're going to talk about accounting to basically understand exactly how a company is doing right now, and also finance to understand exactly how a company is going to be doing in the future. That is the basic idea for this video. So now that we cover that, let's get into these 7 things you actually need to know so you understand exactly the basics of investing. And now, guys, for the first part of this video, we're going to talk about the resources you're going to need to find the information you need about a stock. So number 1 is actually Yahoo Finance. Now, whenever you hear stocks, usually you hear Webull or Robinhood or SoFi Invest. Now, in reality, those are all just brokerages, okay? But Yahoo Finance is a website that gives you more details about the stock, okay? About its financial statements and everything you actually need to know to then start investing into the company. So for example, guys, whenever you go into the Yahoo Finance app, or for example, even the website, you're going to find the financial statements, the cash flow statements, income statements, balance sheets. On top of that, a profile on the company, who the company is, the managers, what they do, and all that stuff. On top of that, you're also going to see, guess what? You're going to see exactly what percentage of the stock is actually held by insiders. So you're also going to be able to see exactly when an insider trades a stock, sells it, or buys more, and usually that can help you detect a pattern if people in the company feel like, hey, we want to buy or we actually want to sell. So all these things are actually good resources to actually know exactly more information about the company. So you want to find out all this stuff by going to Yahoo Finance and looking over the website and seeing everything they actually offer for you. But at the end of the day, guys, okay, all of the information on a stock is public. Is public information by law. So although Yahoo Finance is like Yahoo Premium, in reality, you don't have to pay for anything. All the information is out there in the public. And that's why number 2, the second resource, is actually the SEC. Now, the SEC is the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission. And basically, these people right here are the scary guys when it comes to like, hey, if a company is committing fraud, and the SEC catches them, they will get fined. In some cases, they can actually lead to even worse punishment. So the SEC is basically in charge of regulating the stock market in a sense and seeing and making sure that no one is committing fraud and that us investors have all the information we actually need to make a very good informed decision. So for example, whenever you go to the SEC website, you're going to want to basically search the ticker symbol of the company. Once you do that, basically you're going to see every single document on that company, usually a lot more than you actually need. So I want you guys to focus on 3 documents. The first document is called the S-1. Now that document is basically an initial document that companies have to file whenever they actually want to turn public. And that document includes all the information on the competition, the risk, the legal risk, and every single aspect of that company, because if they don't disclose it, basically they can easily get sued, and they want to avoid that at all costs. So always look up the S-1 document, and that way you can find out exactly what the company was thinking whenever they actually filed to actually become a publicly traded company in the US stock market, okay? So always look up that form right there. The second form is actually the 10K form, the 10-K form. By the way, everything is linked down below, but the answer is the 10K form basically gives you a brief information of the entire performance of the company for the entire year. So by reading that document right there, you can see exactly the management, how much they get paid, the cost of actually operating the business, the income, what they actually see, the competition. You can see all the information about the performance of the company for the entire year. And now the third form is actually the 10-Q form. Now this form is going to show you if another company basically bought another company. Now Tommy, why would a company do this? The answer is, well, companies buy other companies usually to actually maximize the performance, but most importantly, some companies, the more they actually grow and the bigger they get, usually the slower the growth actually becomes. That's very, very normal. However, some companies, to artificially make themselves look like they're actually growing, in reality, they buy other companies that are growing that makes their company actually look like it's growing, but in reality, it's all artificial. So by looking at the 10-Q form that's actually filed quarterly, you'll see exactly if a company bought more companies, and that way you can make an even better informed decision. For example, Microsoft bought LinkedIn. And also Facebook by Instagram, WhatsApp, and a whole bunch of different apps, okay? So the answer is, you always want to look at exactly what companies does this company actually own, and that way you know exactly, is the growth official or is it artificial, okay? Now, those are just 3 forms, but in the SEC website, you'll find every single form you actually need, but in reality, most of the time, is actually more than you actually need. But those forms are critical when it comes to investing, and that's why I'm mentioning them right now, okay? So always look for those when you're actually searching in the SEC website. Now, the third resource is actually investor relations. Now, investor relations is basically a website built by the actual company that shows you all of the highlighted information about the company, and that way you can find everything very easily. So for example, if you want to find out information about, for example, Apple or Delta or T-Mobile, or for example, any company out there, just type in their name plus investor relations, and that way you'll find out exactly all of the information on the company that the company actually posted, and that way you know exactly how the company is doing. Also, in that website, you'll find out, for example, the 10K forms, everything you actually need also, but on top of that, also press releases, quarterly releases, and everything you actually need to know about the company. Sometimes they even have podcasts about the company, telling you about the employees, telling you about the management, telling you about everything. So a lot of the times you'll see a lot of modern looking companies, but you'll also see a lot of companies that actually look like, hey, this website is like from the 1990s, but in actuality, you don't want to look at, hey, the company looks fancy. You want to look at the numbers and analyze the numbers. Not how it looks, you want to look at exactly the numbers, if it's a good company or if it's actually a bad company. So again, the third resource is investor relations. It's going to help you a ton when it comes to finding information and also downloading it and also taking a look at it, okay? Very, very important. So far for the first part of this video, we covered the resources you're actually going to use to actually go out there and find information about the company. Yahoo Finance, the SEC websites, and also investor relations for any company you're actually looking up. That's just the first part, okay? Now, the second part is the accounting part of this video, and that includes number 4 is the income statement. You're going to have to look at the income statement every time you actually invest into a company, and this is one of the most important financial statements because basically it shows you the revenue minus the expenses, so that way you know exactly how much money the company actually gets to keep after it actually made all of its money, okay? Now, the idea is this, guys. The basic idea is you're going to see the revenue and also the cost of goods sold and also all of the expenses of the company to actually keep operations, okay? So the answer is, okay, cost of goods sold basically stands for how much money does it take to actually make the product. So for example, if this product costs $1, if it costs the company 50 cents to actually make it, it means the profit margin is around 50%. Kinda, you know, because they also have, for example, employees and operations, and that also is in the income statement. So by looking at the income statement, you'll know exactly how much they actually make minus the entire expenses, and then you actually get the net income of the company. So you always want to look at the income statement when it actually comes to, hey, is this company making money or is it just losing money? So imagine, for example, you see a company that's bringing in $1 million, but they're also spending $10 million every single year. The answer is that is a massive red flag. So you always want to look at the income statement to find out exactly how is this company making money, how much does it cost to make money, on top of that, what are their expenses to get the net income, okay? That is the idea here. And by the way, when learning about the income statement, you're going to have to find out about GAAP accounting, non-GAAP accounting, and on top of that, EBITDA. EBITDA stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and on top of that, amortization, okay? It sounds complicated. I know, it sounds complicated, but the more you go out there and research, the more you're going to understand everything that I'm saying actually means. By the way, everything I said in this video is going to be linked down below, but all this stuff is very important when it comes to investing, and that's why I'm telling you guys all of this information. And now guys, number 5 is actually the balance sheet, which is also very, very important. By the way, everything in this video is very important, especially all of the financial statements, okay? Now, the balance sheet is basically assets equal liabilities plus owner's equity. That is the entire idea, okay? So the point is, by looking at the balance sheet, you're going to find out what the company owns. On top of that, what the company actually owes, and also what percentage of the money that they actually have has still not been receiving. And on top of that, also find out how much money the company is actually borrowing. And all this stuff is very, very important, okay? So the answer is, when you look at the balance sheet, you're going to see, for example, long-term assets, short-term assets, long-term liabilities, short-term liabilities, but there's so much information in here that I can't cover it in one video. But that's why I'm telling you about it, so hopefully you go out there after this video and you do more research and you find out exactly, well, what does this mean? And by the way, guys, remember, whenever you're looking, for example, through a balance sheet or an income statement, remember, we live in 2020, so Google still exists, okay? So the point is, whatever you don't understand, highlight it, copy it, and Google it, okay? That way you find out exactly, hey, what does this mean? What does that mean? But do not look at an income statement or balance sheet and be like, okay, so retained earnings, goodwill, what is this? The answer is just look it up. You're gonna find out, and you're going to get better the more you actually just do research and you keep learning, okay? It's very basic once you understand it, but if you don't know anything about it, it's going to be very complicated in the beginning. But again, this is the basic stuff you need to know whenever it comes to investing into stocks, okay? Now, the last thing, number 6, is actually, well, not the last thing, but number 6 is actually the cash flow statement. Now, the basic idea of the cash flow statement is going to show you exactly how the company actually uses the money, because although, for example, you might see net income, that is actually not how much the company actually has in cash, okay? Because sometimes, for example, companies give out the service but don't actually have the money until they actually get paid. So by looking at the cash flow statements, you will see, for example, these 3 main things, okay? You will see cash flow from operating expenses, so how much it actually takes the company to actually run itself. On top of that, cash flow from finances activities, and also cash flow from investing activities. And that way you'll see exactly how much money the company actually has in cash. But overall, guys, okay, all 3 of these statements, okay, the income statement, the balance sheet statement, and also the cash flow statements, they are all connected. So once you understand one, it'll become a lot more easier to understand exactly how the other statement actually works. But the point is, by looking at all 3 of these statements, you're going to find out the overall health of a company. Does it have a lot of cash? Does it have a lot of debt? Does it make enough money? All this stuff you're going to figure out by understanding and reading all of these financial statements, okay? So that's why I'm talking about this also. Now, the last thing, number 7, is you need to learn how to set a target price for a company. Now, for example, although the stock market might tell you, hey, the company is worth this much money, in reality, that is fueled by supply and demand. That's not the actual value of a company. So to understand this, you're going to understand basically the earnings of the company, also the future projections of the company, and that way you're going to figure out exactly what is a target price. But overall, guys, okay, that is the end of this video. And so far, if you made it to this part, obviously you're very serious about investing into stocks and understanding them. However, I can't put all the information here because obviously the video will be like an hour long. It's pretty long already. So the point is, if you want to learn about stock investing, do me a favor, learn about all of these 7 things right here, study them. And by the way, remember, okay, none of this stuff is basic, okay? You don't learn it in college. You don't learn it in high school. You don't learn it in kindergarten. The answer is you don't learn any of this stuff. So basically, you have to go out there, buy some textbooks on accounting and finance, okay? Go out and take some courses. The last thing I want you to do is just to go on Google and just search things up. The answer is that's going to take too long, okay? Just buy a course. By the way, I'm going to link down below a course I'm currently taking, and it's about basically accounting, finance, and also valuation, and it's going to help you a ton, and it's also for beginners. That way you know exactly how everything works. So again, link down below to that course. That way you find out exactly how it works. But again, it's not my course, so I'm not selling you something. And also, guess what? The course costs around like 17 bucks. So it's not also going to cost you a lot of money either, because I'm not going to spend $200 on a course because most of this information is out there anyways. But overall, guys, okay, comment down below and let me know. Do you want to learn how to invest by doing all this stuff, or do you just rather go out there and invest into an index fund and just get the average return every single year? By the way, both options are great options, okay? Because guess what? I do both. I pick stocks and I also invest into index funds. If you want to do both or just one or the other, that is fine. But obviously, by this point of this video, you should notice that, hey, picking a stock and analyzing a company takes a lot of time, and it also takes a lot of work. So if you want to do that, you can if you want to. If you don't, just invest into index funds, and that is also a pretty solid plan, okay? But overall, guys, that's about it for this video. Also, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts. On top of that, also, like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. On top of that, follow my second channel called TommyBryson Show. Also follow me on TommyBryson, and on top of it, if you want to watch another video on basically what I'm actually investing into right now, watch this video right here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.